it's EK from EK Gorman Designs, and I am coming in today with 5 fast cards featuring the Sweet Violet card making and craft kit from White Rose Crafts. This is a series where I make 5 fast cards using basically the supplies in the kit. This is the third part of this series, of my 3-part series. And I'm going to tell you, I found my stride finally. I really feel these are the 5 best cards of the total 15 I've made. So let me know in the bottom if you've watched all 3 parts. Let me know which of the 3 parts is your favorite, because this is my favorite. This one right here is my favorite. And if you missed the unboxing or part 1 or part 2 of this 5 fast cards, I will put the blob up in the corner so you can click and catch up. For the first card, I wanted to use that iridescent paper and layer some of the printed paper over it, and I should have been doing this all along because boy does it have an impact. It's hard to catch exactly how much shimmer and shine that iridescent paper has on camera, but wow, it's really fantastic. Actually, you can kind of see whenever I move the paper how much shine there really is. I might have overestimated the size of the paper I needed, so I unfortunately am going to have to go back and trim things up, and I may have made the white scrap of cardstock too long, so you're going to get to watch me fight that. But here is the poor camera work I'm doing right here, trimming up this iridescent paper. It's funny when you look at this iridescent paper, you think, man, this just really doesn't go color coordinate with the paper in the kit. But then you lay the paper over it, and yeah, it's meant to be together. I will tell you, my really bad tape runner does not adhere well to the kit, but other tape runners work just fine. I'm just currently working with a really bad one, and I might have ordered more craft runner tape, but it's not here yet. So we're all just gonna have to grin and bear it as I struggle with a tape runner, as usual. I set these onto the card frame and had them slightly, I guess they're symmetrical, but not lined up. I don't know, they seem even, but they're not. They're all the same size, and I love how the paper actually looks like I've trimmed it to be like that intentionally. I haven't. I pulled out the included stamp set in the kit and grabbed a sentiment stamp, and using some purple ink from my stash, I adhered the sentiment with foam tape onto the card frame. I like how it punches up and picks up a little bit. Super simple card. All it is layering papers. But I think it's really, really cool. The geometric pattern to it looks great. I did grab one of the wood chips from the kit, and using the included Wink of Stella purple pen, I added glitter to the rose, and then pulling another glitter pin from my personal stash, I added leaves because leaves are meant to be green, and adhered it to the card frame. You just can't see in the photograph how shiny and beautiful this card is, but boy, it is an impact in real life. For card 2, I wanted to break up the symmetry a little bit and cut a piece of the petalic. Nope, I said that right. I'm dyslexic, and every time I see the word petalic, I want to say petalytics. So I actually have to mentally think petalic every time I say it. And I will tell you, it's exhausting. But I took a piece of the petalic pink cardstock and squared it up and then cut it so it would be wonky on the paper. And using another piece of the printed paper, I adhered it like a border around it, and then using some of the raffia, I added a frame, and then I made a bow, but I didn't make you sit and watch the 10 minutes it took to actually make a bow that looked nice. Yeah, it genuinely took me quite some time. You're welcome for not having to watch it. I added adhesive to the back of it, and I used my double-sided adhesive as opposed because it's kind of got some weight to it, and I wanted to make sure it really stuck well to the card. I fussy cut out this ephemera sheet from the included ephemera sheets. It's meant to be a big rectangle piece, but I took the floral image and just fussy cut it out to again play with that lack of symmetry, and then added it popped up with foam tape. Again, using some purple ink from my stash, I added a sentiment off kilter. Actually, I just lined it up with the pink petalic cardstock, added a few of the purple gems included in the kit, and finished this card off. I like all the textures that this card has between the raffia and the popped up three-dimensional ephemera. I really think it was just a fun, pretty card. For card 3, going out of my comfort zone. At some point you would think this would become my comfort zone, but it's not. I'm going to make a shaker card using one of the ephemera sheets. I have used my X-Acto knife and my scissors and cut out the negative space in between the floral image on this ephemera sheet. And using some double-sided adhesive, I added a piece of acetate from my personal stash. Any clear plastic's gonna work. Even a like heavyweight packaging paper would work to make a shaker card. And I will tell you, I broke out my good three-dimensional tape for you, or foam tape. It's, in my opinion, the easiest to work with. It's also one of the more costly, and I'm running low on my surplus of foam tape, so I pulled out the good stuff today. I hoard tape, in case you're curious. I save the good tape for special occasions, but I never actually come across those special occasions, so you're welcome. Apparently today is a special occasion. I did pull out some of the larger gems from the shaker mix because I wanted it to lay flat, and to get those larger gems in, I would actually need a double layer of this foam adhesive. And again, I'm cheap when it comes to foam adhesive, and it's not that much of a special occasion to use 2 layers of each. I forgot I hadn't actually adhered the printed paper onto the A2 card frame. So yes, I've got a fully ready to go shaker card floating there without. There we go, now we're all cut up. I do love the iridescent paper as a backer to the shaker bits. I think that pop of purple is really quite beautiful. And yes, if you've noticed, I stamped the sentiment. Very crooked. Fortunately, the shaker element is so off kilter that I don't think the sentiment looks horrible crooked, but it drives me nuts. Because yes, it is crooked. Fortunately, as I play with sequins here, it's basically off camera, so I'm not going crazy. The card, for being a pretty detailed shaker card, looked really boring right there. So I just pulled out a whole slew of different sequins from the shaker mix and added them onto the card, giving it a little bit more, I don't know, pizzazz. I did actually use some of those three-dimensional gems, and I put what's meant to go up down because that's flat, and let what was supposed to go down up because it's sharp and pointy, and it still looks good. And there you go. There's a shaker card that was never meant to be a shaker card, and I think it looks really fun. Card 4, I'm changing my color palette. Instead of using violets, I'm going to use some of the pink metallic and pale green metallic paper to create a whole new color scheme. I did not trim this ribbon long enough, so now you get to watch me fight the lace and try to get it adhered to the back of the metallic cardstock. In the end, I won, but it was a fun adventure to get there. I adhered the pink metallic, yes, every time I have to think about it, to an A2 card frame, and I wonky cut the pale green metallic cardstock, so it was off kilter. It should have been half an inch longer, but oh well, I'm not perfect. I did trim up one of the doilies so it would fit really nicely in the corner, and I love how the cream doily looks on top of that pale green. I pulled out the kit within the kit, and these are the decoupage layering ephemera, and I adore the roses, and I adore that the pink and the rose matches perfectly with the pink metallic, and the green and the leaves matches perfectly with the pale green metallic, and it's like it was designed to look this good. Oh wait, it was. I added my glossy accents to the back of everything and held it down a little longer than normal on the lace just so I could really make sure I got a good adhesive. I will tell you, I love this metallic cardstock, except for stamping on it can be messy. I have found that if you use an archival type ink, a permanent ink, so stays on, archival, I'm sure there's 1,000 more out there, it works best. You just need something that's got a little extra stick. I forgot in the creating of this, the pre-plan, to put buttons on, so I've come back and put the buttons back onto the card, and I love how the buttons play off of the lace. It looks something like it was meant all to go together. For card 5, I have pulled, I'm running out of full pieces of paper here, so I've actually just pulled a bunch of the different scraps I've used across this process and trimmed them up to all be 3/4 of an inch in width and, 5.25 inches in length. And using my lovely mat to help me line things up, I am adhering them. I will tell you, eyeballing this was one of the harder things I've had to do. You'll get to watch me be fussy with it, and I think it's okay to show you that I'm being fussy with it, because sometimes eyeballing things is hard, and it's a little bit of trial and error to get there. The second side was much easier. I will tell you, doing the center, doing the 2 outsides, and then doing the 2 insides was probably the easiest way to do this, because, yeah, I have a random strip of cardstock from my personal stash and some of the paper flowers from the kit, and I'm adhering them all together. I never really thought the 4 flowers would stick under the sentiment bar, but I knew it would anchor them long enough for me to get my glue dots out and adhere, and I adhere down the floral better. So I put a glue dot under each flower head, and then I took one more glue dot, kind of rolled it up, and tucked it under the 4 wire stems. To finish the card, I pulled out my stamping platform, one of the sentiments. This is my favorite sentiment in the package, the Enjoy the Little Things. Inked it up with some black ink, and added just 2 of the purple pearls onto the card. And lo and behold, super simple card, but I think it's really pretty. Those are my 5 cards today. Let me know in the comments below which of the 5 cards is your favorite, and make sure you head over to White Rose Crafts and pick up your own kit today, because they'll be gone before you know it. Like I said, let me know which of the 5 cards is your favorite in the comments below. And until then, happy crafting.